In this speed build I will introduce the Spinoraptor from the new Secret Species pack to Jurassic Evergreen Park. And with that said, hey guys, Legion here and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today we will be doing a speed build on the Secret Species pack, which will feature of course the Spinoraptor, the most beloved and also my favorite species from the entire pack. In the speed build you can already see me start the construction on today's habitat, and today's habitat is a pretty special one. I already had that idea a couple days before actually starting to build that, and basically the idea is to build like some kind of water temple where the guests can go around and look into the habitat of the Spinoraptor. And the way that I did this was that I had a path circle basically, and then also an inner path circle, and in the gap between that we basically fill in some water to really tie together the whole water and swamp theme that I not only have going on with this habitat but also with the current area that we are doing of this park. And of course, if you want to see the rest of the episodes for this park and then you want to see this park finished, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as check out the last episodes if you're new to the channel. But yeah, then on 4 of the sides we have 4 sort of bridges connecting the inner circle with the outer circle. So basically the outer circle is there for the guests to go around the habitat and to visit the rest of the park, and then you can go on to the inner circle to walk around, you know, on the sort of temple sort of thing, whatever you want to call it. And then the guests can also go into the 4 viewing galleries, and in the middle we have one of the viewing domes, so the habitat has a lot of visibility. And then also in the middle I later built like a monorail structure. I used the monorail roof basically to make like a monorail circle in the middle, and that sort of makes for a cool temple look. And then I also lined the path with rocks like around the water. I think that gives off a really nice look. And then I took some of the foliage brushes and then put that inside of the water as well to make it look really swampy. Inside of the habitat, of course, I went for a swamp biome to suit the Spinoraptor, since it's of course a hybrid made from the Spinosaurus, and it really does resemble the Spinosaurus in quite a lot of ways, with a long snout, with it being able to feed from the fish feeder, and also with the sail on the back. You know, it really looks quite a lot like a Spinosaurid, actually, just sort of with really raptor-like movements. I personally quite like the Spinoraptor and how it turned out. In general, I'm not a fan of the DLC, as you might know from my community posts on the channel if you've seen those. I personally quite disappointed with this DLC and the lack of free update mostly. I personally think that most of the creatures really aren't that good, but I think this Spinoraptor is really quite nice. It just looks really cool, you know. It gets those points. It's quite a bit bigger actually than the not the Spinosaurus. It's smaller than the Spinosaurus, but it's quite a lot bigger actually than the Velociraptor. And it has really nice skins as well. It has like the stripes at the back and like the speckles on the snout, and I think that looks really cool. The thing is, like, it's not really that super special and super great. I personally think I like it, but it's not like one of my favorite species in the game. When it comes to raptors, I personally prefer like things like the Utahraptor or Pyroraptor with feathers. But yeah, I think this just looks a bit. It just looks like a better version of the Velociraptor in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, I thought it was a really fitting addition for this park build, especially for the current section that we're building, which is like the swamp area. And I think I'm gonna finish this off with like one more habitat for like the Dinokairos or something, and I think then we're done, because I don't want to do like too many swamp habitats, because like there are a lot of ones that you can do. I can still like do the Baryonyx and the Spinosaurus, but I think I'm just going to do the Dinokairos and then leave it at that. But yeah, make sure to tell me in the comments down below what you think of the DLC and what you think of all of the 4 species. And I think I'm gonna do like a quick little opinion on the creatures in this video, and I might just do another video on the DLC itself and in general, and like the missing free update, of course. So let's start out with the Stegoceratops, which is actually a new creature that we got, and I personally think that the Stegoceratops is really boring. I really like ceratopsians in general, but some of my least favorite in the game are the Stegoceratops and Triceratops, and the Spinoceratops is really just a Sinoceratops with a sail on the back. I think if it didn't have the sail and was like properly, smaller and properly sized, I would prefer it over the Sinoceratops, because I think it has better textures. And it also has better skins. Like, the skins are quite nice for it, but the sail really just ruins it for me. I think it looks really weird, and it doesn't really make sense at all to to have a hybrid between the Sinoceratops and Spinosaurus. And I think there's not a lot of Spinosaurus even in the hybrid, except for the sail. The Ankylodocus, I think, is quite nice, and it had an incredible glow up from the first game if you compare it to the first version. And I think it's quite okay. You can use it as like a stand-in for some kind of armored herbivore, and I think that won't really be too bad. The skins are like boring, as we probably should have expected. And it doesn't fight back, which is a little sad, but none of the sauropods in the game do, so I think it would have been weird if this one were to fight back and all of the others weren't. And last, and also actually least, we have the Stegoceratops. And I think the Stegoceratops is for sure the worst creature in this DLC. It doesn't really bring anything new to the table. It doesn't have like interesting skins. It's really just a Triceratops with Stegosaurus plates and like Stegosaurus tail. It has a couple of animations with the parents, which also the Ankylodocus has, which is a quite nice one. And yeah, I don't really like the Stegoceratops, because the Triceratops, I think, is quite ugly in this game. It just looks not really good. It doesn't have good skins, and it's just like a grey big blob. And I think that the Triceratops suffers from all of that, and it also looks really ridiculous. So it might just be like, it's one of my least favorite species in the game, and the worst one from this DLC for sure. So yeah, like I just said, please share your thoughts on the DLC and the DLC creatures down below in the comments. I personally don't really like the DLC that much. I think one of the creatures is quite nice and the other one is like okay. By that I mean the Spinoraptor and Ankylodocus, like I previously said. So yeah, I think this build here is quite nice. It fits in really well in this area and makes up for like a nice little center point and like roundabout in the park. And I think I'm going to be able to integrate it really well into the rest of the park and have the park, give the park a really nice layout with this habitat. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you guys enjoyed my little opinion on the creatures. See you guys in the next one. Enjoy the cinematics. Bye bye.
Upstream, are you with me? Round up, rainbow, color in the city, rushing through me. Down low, upstream, are you with me? Feel it. Color in the city, rushing through me. Upstream, are you with me? Round up, rainbow, water in the city, rushing through me. Down low, upstream, are you with me? Feel it. Round up, rainbow, water in the city, rushing through me. Down low, upstream, are you with me? Feel it. Feel it.